happening, family?
Hey, y'all.
Welcome back to another episode of Is This Gonna Cause an Argument? I'm your host, Marcus Tanksley, a.k.a. Tank, and the other host is...
A is for ow, ow. N is for na 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 na. G is for god dang. Yeah. E is for and the L is for love you. That's right. I spell angel. I'm your other host. And yes, I be doing the most. I'm here on the show we do every Monday. We upload it on the Wednesday. But today is Tuesday because we had stuff to do. And I'm about to tell you about our crew. They Patreon. We call them the immediate family. Because why? We love them so sincerely. You can join the Patreon too. We just need your $5 and you are boo. We also joined by a good old co-sponsor, Shopify. They baby mama. Is it Shopify? Let me make sure. I think it's Shopify. So yes, we have our Patreon joining us live today. They are watching this live. You all will get the edited version. They sat here and watched us argue about touring the show and miscommunications and misunderstandings and clarity and no clarity. You all could have watched the argument before the show as well. For $5. $5 you could have had
Five
that.
of them.
Okay. You could also get Mommy Confessions. I posted a bonus yesterday. Unfortunately, I posted it late. And then also, sorry, there was a phone ringing in the back. Also, we do have a sponsor, Shopify, today. We hope you check out our sponsor, especially if you think about joining the world of e-commerce. They are a great platform to use. We use them for our businesses, and we checked out other platforms, and this one is definitely the one that we chose to use even before the sponsorships. How are you doing?
I feel good. I'm doing good. Not as much rest as I would like, but I feel great. How about you?
I'm exhausted. I had to get up super early on Monday. I told my good friend Marquita Bradley, I said, she said, I'm coming over today, friend. I said, well, don't come over late because I have to memorize lines. I'm shooting a cameo in a feature film. She said, okay, girl. I'ma leave. I was gonna get over there at 6, but I'ma leave as soon as I finish eating. Mind you, I was talking to her at 3. So I thought, I'll see her at 4.
Was she eating breakfast?
And Lord only knows. Marquita shows up after 6 o'clock. Marquita don't leave until damn near 12 o'clock.
So it was well after 6. It was around 7, wasn't it?
No, because I was on my call with the kids at 6, and she got there when I was on the call with the kids, and I finished before 7 with them. I had to wake up at 4:30 to get out of the house by 4:50. Here I am. That was Monday.
I was going to say that was Monday.
Tuesday, I went out to dinner with a couple of girlfriends, got home. Me and Marcus watching this show called Gen V on Amazon. Very nasty.
I don't get some of this. It's just so stupid, completely pointless. Go ahead. How nasty it gets.
The nasty and the extreme homoeroticness of it all. And so I went to bed at after 11. And when I tell you 6 o'clock felt like it came 20 minutes later. I mean, it felt like my head was.
You went to bed after 12. It was close to 1 o'clock. Matter of fact, it was after 1 o'clock.
No.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No.
Yes. Okay.
Let me figure it out.
I got it figured out. I remember looking at that's why I said, I'm going to bed.
I thought you said I'm going to bed before 12.
It was 12:57.
When you said I'm going to bed?
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me what time it was?
You should have known. You was looking at 3 damn screens: the TV, your phone, your computer.
I wasn't looking at.
They all got clocks.
I had already closed my computer and my phone. I wasn't looking at.
You was.
No. The reason why I know I wasn't looking at my phone because I took like 2 or 3 short naps while watching the show.
We started watching the show at like 11:30, 11:45.
Right.
That was the first episode.
And then the second episode.
Yeah, they're an hour long.
Why didn't you tell me what time it was?
Because you knew.
I didn't understand why you were going to bed so
what?
early. So early. I said, we only got like 20 minutes left of this show.
Yeah.
Why are you going to bed?
You could have kept watching it. I was going to bed.
I did. I finished the episode.
Because I wasn't going to watch it at all. Well, I planned on going to bed, but I got my food so late. So I couldn't go to bed after I ate.
Why don't you be cooking?
Wasn't nothing there to cook. Everything was frozen. And I thought you would be home a lot sooner than that.
No, there was ground turkey.
I'm not going to eat no ground turkey. Me limiting my diet limits what I can cook right there on the spot.
You got to start taking the meat out.
I will never take the meat out. You know this. Anyway, so you exhausted.
I was thinking out of your pants, and I was like, you do that all the time, but you're saying out of my orifice.
Correct.
Nasty.
Yeah. So yeah, you're tired because you don't know how to go to bed.
But look at my hair though.
Mm-hmm. Your
It's
hair looks nice.
It's dry. I need to like do something about that. But I was, not hopeful about my hair. I was gonna cut it all off, and you told me no.
Because we've done that before. You wasn't a fan of it.
You weren't a fan of my short hair?
No, I said you weren't a fan of it.
I didn't know what I was doing. You weren't a fan of it.
I was a fan of it.
Marcus,
I was. You remember it. You didn't like it after you watched it.
What about you?
I liked it.
After I watched it. You have some tells.
I'm laughing because you think I didn't like it.
I wasn't laughing at first.
Back.
It was. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I'm talking about your lip is twitching. Your eye twitched too.
You know my eye been twitching for weeks now.
It was that
well, one of them been twitching.
No, I'm saying the one that twitched for me just now.
Anyway, I liked it. I don't know what to tell you.
Marcus is learn. But yeah, I was going to cut it off and he said, no, don't do that.
Yeah, I ain't going to put up with that bullshit again.
Well, that's because I was doing the relaxer. I would have just have a short fro. How would you feel with me with a short fro?
I don't know if I'd be down with a short fro.
See, that's why.
I don't know.
But no, I think that's why you also
If I meet people with a short fro is one thing, but going to a short fro, it ain't always the same.
That's why I think you said no. I could be wrong, but that's why I think you said no. I don't.
You're never wrong.
That's a lie.
Yeah, I don't know about a short fro. That's hard to imagine.
Yeah. I gotta sneeze. Okay.
Bless you. Yeah, no, I like the short hair because I can finally see your face.
Short hair. When I had my short hair, I kept it in front of the eye.
No, it was just a little bit. It wasn't like with the because Angel already had big afro, and then she would wear the even bigger afro wigs, and it was just crazy. And then it was it was those two things. Because you got out of the hats finally.
What hats?
No, it was just the one time, wasn't it?
Wait a minute. What hats?
You remember the hat that when we
that one about that.
Time? Yeah, that's why I said it was the one time.
No, that's why I had to figure out what one time you were talking about. Oh, so sorry. One of our Patreon members telling us there was a shooting at her university, Lincoln University.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
This past weekend, I did not hear.
Yeah,
about
one person I think passed and like 16 more injured.
Jeez, Louise.
Maybe I don't know if those numbers are right.
Sorry.
And of course, the conservative media, they taking it and running with it because it was a black shooter. Oh, look, I'm like, that's 1 to y'all 60.
Yeah,
calm it down.
Definitely a different type of ratio.
Yeah, but sorry to hear that.
But yeah, I was gonna cut it. Marcus said no. Not that he determines how my hair is, but I asked him and he was like, nah. I do be cutting it though. I cut it every time I do a twist out. I get my little silver scissors and just cut off little pieces here and there.
And why?
Because the ends be...
Yeah, you're supposed to maintain it.
Yeah, so I've been cutting it. You want to cut it?
No, absolutely not.
Why?
I don't know about cutting it. No, I'm not doing it.
You don't be knowing a lot about a lot of things, but you figured out.
I'd be damned if I touch your hair. In that way, I am not cutting your hair.
Why you say it so defensively? Why can't you do that for me?
Because I know the repercussions of how you feel about your hair when you don't like it.
But
that's why I told you not to cut. No, don't cut your hair. Leave it right there.
I mean, I'm talking about trimming.
I ain't trimming it either.
You wouldn't trim it?
No.
You've trimmed other hair on me. You wouldn't trim.
I didn't want to do that.
But you did it.
Yeah, didn't want to. I'm not doing that. I ain't trimming that no more either.
Well, Marcus.
Angel. Anyhow. We usually kick this off. This is going to be another full, I think, a lot to do with, actually, no. Yeah, let's do In My Feelings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we usually kick this off with one of two segments. One is either In My Feelings. The other, you supposed to be doing this. The other is Tanksley Pride.
You mean explaining it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you got
the other one is, so we're going to do In My Feelings. This is what's got us feeling some type of good, something's feeling us type of way. Something that's got us feeling some type of way.
I was like, all right.
Go on, kick it off.
What's got me feeling some type of way? Because I wasn't expecting this. My hair. These ends is fried. I have heat damage. It's dry. I'm happy it looks good to people. I want it to feel better. I was looking at a clip because, as you all know, Kev on Stage Studios app catalog is on Fuse TV. So the workplace comedy, which I know a lot of you all missed and was like, when is that coming back? It is back. It is available for people to watch. They were doing an advertising clip of it. And we're in the back of the bus. This is like episode 1 or 2 where I cuss everybody out for the first time. And I'm in the bus looking around trying to figure out what's going on. My hair looks like the most expensive, beautiful natural hair wig. And it's moving. Like when I'm swinging, it's swinging, which is not typical for 4BC hair. Okay? My hair is whoo, whoo. And I was just like, oh my God, all that beautiful freaking hair. And I done destroyed it.
How'd you destroy it?
The second time I got it colored, and then the heat that I was putting on my hair. This is why I had been a non-straight. But I want the versatility of being able to wear my hair straight and then curly. But God just did not give me that, just like he didn't give me calves to match my thighs. So that's what's got me in my feelings is this hair.
Oh, yeah, I explained that whole thing I found, that research.
That your calves are genetic.
Not having calves. If you ain't got calves, you ain't going to have calves.
Yeah, that's what I know.
It's annoying as hell.
So, yeah, my hair has got me feeling some kind of way. What's up with you, my love? What's got you feeling like, yeah?
I don't know if it's got me feeling some type of way fully, but this is a conversation that actually came up. Went to a car show this weekend. I'm sitting there talking to the dudes, and one of the guys, I met him like 2-3 years ago, and he started following me from then. So he was talking about some video that we put up, and he was just recalling that and laughing at it. And then I think he mentioned something about a podcast. And then the guy came over who ended up putting me on speakerphone with his son, because his son wants to be a content creator right now. He's a photographer and all that. And he was like, he wanted to know if you could, just reach out to you. I was like, I don't know what tips I can give him, but, yeah. Uh-huh. So gave him my handle. So one of them was like, wait, you got a podcast? I'm like, yeah, we've had a podcast for like almost 10 years called it's with me and my it's properly named because it's with me and my wife. Is this gonna cause an argument? And that conversation went over into one of the guys said something, and this is fast forwarding. So there was time between that, me saying the podcast and the guy saying this. He was like, yeah, he said, yeah, see, I never argue. Me and my wife, we don't argue like that. You know, we don't be arguing and like I ain't never called her out of her name or we ain't never thrown stuff at each other or got violent. And I'm just sitting there listening to him talk, and I was like, I don't understand why when people hear argument, that's where their mind goes. Mm-hmm. I said, we have never called each other out of our name and been angry about it.
Right.
Like we'll joke around and call each other stuff, but we ain't never yelled or threw anything or got physical out of anger.
Right.
I said, an argument is what two lawyers do in court. Present your argument. They not yelling. They're talking back and forth. What we did at the beginning of this podcast before we started court, that was just getting clarity.
We had
a little bit of an argument. Yeah, like that's why we say this is going to cause an argument. When people just and I went over, and after I said that, I went over into, I think especially in the social media world, a lot of people get these what I call them the social media couples or the fantasy couples, and they paint this perfect picture to make it look absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And it's just like people that say, oh, we never disagree. We never do this. And I said, somebody's lying. Yeah. If not both. Jesus wasn't perfect in his human form. There's a whole, 20-some years where they didn't talk about his life. He was in there doing all kinds of stuff probably. Like they don't talk about that. He was a troubled youth. I'm like, for people to paint this perfect picture, I'm like, if that is true, if y'all never argue, then one or both of y'all are miserable. Y'all holding in way too much. Just because you saying you never disagree with the person that you spend your entire life with?
Well, it's not disagree. They don't argue. Did the person say they never disagree?
No, they said they never argue.
Right.
But disagreeing, if you're putting your opinion on something and I disagree with your opinion and I present my opinion, that is a quote unquote argument. That is two opposing opinions trying to say, no, it's this, no, it's that. That's an argument. It ain't got to be yelling or punching or swinging or getting the police called.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, so I can't say it's got me, it's just something that every time I hear that, especially people, oh, we never argue. I'm like, well, it depends on what you consider to be an argument.
Yes, I think a lot of people put a little extra sauce on argument where it has to be a yelling match or where it has to get real contentious or mean.
Right.
Or super duper uncomfortable. Sometimes it's just that. And
they got debate teams at schools. They argue those are arguments. That's literally the definition of an argument. Present your case. We're going to present our case. You wish your argument. This is my argument. His disagreement don't have to be high level. To have a disagreement doesn't have to be a high level of emotion. You completely right, Johnny S.
Okay, real quick, before we get too far on the podcast,
go ahead.
I'm going to talk about our sponsor for today, Shopify. They are the business tool that I wish for everyone, okay? Because they make life so much easier. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing my sunglasses, if you're watching us on my YouTube channel, it's because Shopify's got me feeling like a boss. Like Marcus said, we've been doing this podcast for almost 10 years. There's so much we didn't know, still don't know, and we continue to grow our businesses, continue to start businesses. And Shopify is one of those tools that I wish there was a Shopify for every business I have started. I wish there was a Shopify for acting. Wish there was a Shopify for podcasting. I'm glad there's a Shopify for e-commerce. All right, because Shopify is going to get you that cha-ching. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. You already know our brands, Mama Likes and Man-ish. Get started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand style and accelerate your content creation, because y'all already know that's a part of being a business, content creation. Shopify is packed with helpful AI tools that write product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product photography. Get the world out like you got a marketing team behind you. Easily create email campaigns, social media campaigns, wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And best yet, Shopify is the commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready to Shopify. Turn your big business ideas into cha-ching with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/argue. Go to shopify.com/argue. Shopify.com/argue. Cha-ching. Thank you, Shopify, for sponsoring today's podcast. So what's got me feeling good? Okay. We're going to leave the weekend at the weekend. What's got me feeling good is that I shot a cameo yesterday for a feature film. And I don't know about y'all, because my business, the industry I work in, it's so unique. There's not a lot of businesses you can compare it to. So you're constantly having to prove yourself. But then there comes a point in time where you're like, I know I've proven myself, so don't really question me. Yeah. So I was put to the challenge of, I was offered this role, but told, listen, I don't make the final choice, but I told them that you're the person. Now, the person I'm talking to is a financier.
Right.
In the lead of the show. And when I mean financier, I mean there's only two people who put money into the show. This lead and the other lead. So she's like, I'm not the only one who makes a decision, and I'm cool with that. Like, y'all have an agreement that we both have to agree. Perfect. Okay? She said, but you don't have to audition. Just need you to meet with the director. And I was like, cool. Next day, hey, they want to know if you could put some of the scenes on tape and send it in for them to watch. And I said, you mean an audition? And she was like, oh, I don't know where my mind is. Yeah, that. I said, yesterday you said I didn't have to audition. And the fact of the matter is, I wouldn't have. Even if she hadn't said it, I would not have. Okay? And now I'm pissed by you didn't tell me one day, because in this industry, your word's supposed to be your bond. Now, people do lie, but that's how you end up being like, I'll never work with you again. So I'm so angry. I'm in the car with my eldest son, and I said, hey, give me advice, because I'm about to blow this whole thing up and be like, no, thank you. I don't want to do none of it. He was like, you should call and say, you can still do the meeting, but you won't be doing the audition. So I called and I said, hey, I just want you to know I'm a little frustrated with you, because you gave me that word. And I don't get who is telling you what has to be done when you are the person who put in money. And I said, and then also, because mind you, the leads don't have any real prior acting experience. They are the leads because it's their money. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to tell me, who got 2 degrees in acting, multiple years of acting experience, that I have to audition. I'll just turn it down. I even said, listen, if you really do need somebody to audition because y'all feeling a little edgy, I got a homegirl who's hilarious. She will audition. I am not. She was like, you know what? No, you're right. I did tell you that, and I am learning. And she said, thank you for not holding this against me. I was like, girl, no, I love you. Like, but also, hell no. We set a time to meet. I get a text. I'm gonna try to speed this up. The text says, hey, they want to see if me and you can read the scene on the thing. That's an audition. Like, it's an audition. If you have not offered me the role,
you know what? Let me know when the movie drops.
I really want to be like, if you haven't offered me the role, any type of can you read this, can you do that, is an audition. I'm sorry, I lost y'all, so I'm trying to find y'all on this on my laptop. So I don't even respond to that email. That's how like y'all done got me messed up. I am. So we get, oh, there y'all are. So we get on the call and I'm just freestyling in the conversation, telling them this is the things that I think. I think this. Now, mind you, I've only read the scene to myself once. Haven't looked at it in a week and a half. And I'm just like, this. They're on the Zoom crying, laughing. They were like, oh my God, you're so funny. This is without me saying any of the lines. This is just me giving this character more life. And I was like, when I was on a Black Lady sketch show and I did about 20 different characters, this is easy work for me. Like trying to make sure they understand.
Yeah, you knew it, everything you're doing right now. I've been here.
So
20 years I've been here. Where you been?
Well, the thing is, I think also it was the casting director and the director. The director is a TV director, but look at my IMDb.
Yeah,
that's what you can do. So at the very end, she was like, "Okay, is there any way that I can have you and her read the scene together right now?"
Ask me one more time.
And I said no. I said it wouldn't actually benefit you or me if I did that. I was like, I just got back from a funeral. I haven't looked at this. I said, I literally, all these ideas I just gave you are just coming to me at the top of my head. I said, so, no. She was like, I get it. That's fine. That's fine. Then they put in the offer. Offer is great. We do the scene yesterday. When I tell you, them people, the crew is laughing in the middle of the takes. Okay? They are not able to hold it together. And mind you, I am kind of doing the script, but I'm freestyling a lot. I'm doing physical comedy. The character is ridiculous. I'm just saying that right now. It's a character that I would only do for this friend and not for anybody else. But I'm like, y'all really wanted to question me.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to look me up.
Like who you talking to right now?
It was so for me, I felt good because I stood 10 toes down. When I told Brescia though, Brescia was pissed. She said, who they got on the line? She said, is Wanda on the line? She said, who's on the line? Because if they give you somebody on the line, okay, then you audition. Who y'all got on the line?
Yeah.
She said, Angel. She said, I'm hot. She said, I'm hot. She said, this is why you can't be nice to people and let them come to you. She said, because your reps would have already said, Angel is offer only. So are you offering Angel the script or the thing or not? So
I think Brescia gonna do is get mad.
No, I'm telling you. Oh, yeah. She said, oh no, you didn't tell me this. You didn't tell me this. I said, I am going to give my girlfriend grace because I do know she doesn't, she's never done this before. And I'm going to blame ignorance on the people who were questioning me and not really doing the due diligence. Because soon as they got ready to put in the offer, I get a text. Oh, the cast director knows your agent. She once they were like, okay,
right,
fine. That would have been real easy for them to have figured out.
Simple. Because
I was being pitched as her really funny friend.
Yeah.
And not accomplished, working, comedic actress. So anyways, I felt good that I got to really stomp like a big dog yesterday. They were like, this is the funniest scene in the movie. Even if it hadn't been written that way. No, I'm going to make it that way. Mm-hmm. So that's what's got me feeling good.
Well, good for you.
Thank you, baby.
What's got me feeling good? I got some forward momentum on some things. Forward. First of all, ain't that thing connected to your email? Like, I should have a shipping notification or something.
You've had several.
Okay, thank God. Lord Jesus. That one specifically, though.
It got rescheduled a couple of times. Just yesterday.
What you mean rescheduled?
Delivery date.
Okay.
I got it on the 20th.
I'm sorry, y'all. This is back office stuff.
On the 25th. You talking about containers?
Yeah.
On the 25th, when it was scheduled to be delivered, I got 5 notifications of rescheduling.
Why the hell they rescheduling?
I don't know, but I'll show it to you. Go ahead.
Anyway, so forward momentum on some things. I got some things that Patreon only knows about. Got some progress on that too. And then I went to this, like I said, went to this car show yesterday. They had me feeling good because usually go to these car shows and it's these people. Well, actually, one of the guys that won rode in with us, won the best in show. He has an extremely custom, like 63 Lincoln Continental. It thing is extraordinarily beautiful. It's mind-boggling when you look at it, and it's so simple. It's loud. It's so simple that it's like, oh my God, I didn't notice that it doesn't have windows or door handles or a top because the car is done so well. It's so dope. Anyway, so being at that car show and being one of the cars in the lineup that it was at the Budweiser, it was a private car event, Budweiser throws. We thought Lincoln was involved, but apparently, I don't know, I guess they weren't, but we got to park our cars, just the guys, the Lincolns, and then they had like a Chevrolet club that was off to the side. They kind of just put them over there. But all of us that had the 60s Lincolns, we parked inside the brewery.
Okay.
Which was dope. And they gave us we didn't know. We were walking around the brewery because we was like, oh, they're doing a tour. But it was open. So we just started walking and we see places roped off. So we was like, okay, we're not supposed to go back there, but ain't nobody going to show us around. But we were there so early, the tour people wasn't there yet. So we were walking around and walking. Finally, somebody came and was like, y'all not supposed to be in this section. In fact, y'all not supposed to be in the brewery at all yet. Y'all need to be like out there. We were like, the people ahead got that message. Me and a couple other people didn't get that message because by the time we walked through everything that we done seen and walk out, they done roped off the section. Like we damn near trapped in there. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Keep talking.
Anyway, so yeah, we did that. And it was a private event, but I don't understand how so many people knew about it because there was thousands and thousands of people there. They had trick-or-treating.
That's not private then.
For the kid. Well, I don't know how you got an invite.
Maybe did those people work at Bud?
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe it was the employees. That's what I said. It had to be the employees or people affiliated because they had access to bring candy for the trick-or-treaters. I got that notification like the day of or the day before.
They said bring some candy.
Yeah, bring it because the kids there, they had mechanical bulls for the kids and
bring my children.
Crawling walls. They had stuff to do.
I know. Well, no, but you got done and you could have, they got done. You could have came and got them.
I couldn't get out. I couldn't leave.
Send an Uber for them kids.
Anyway, I didn't even know how to get in. After they let us in, I don't know, because we came the back way through the brewery. I don't know I don't know where to tell you where to go to get to where I'm at. Anyway, they had food vendors. It was done so nice, but what's got me feeling good is being in that type of environment. You got all these people that's done spent literally hundreds of thousands of dollars on their customized cars, but yet I'm parked over here on the inside with the special treatment.
You like that?
Roped off. Hey, you can go out there outside and get the bird droppings on your car, or you can come in here in the AC over here. Anyway, they had me feeling good. And also, there's one car club that I met who's all really good called the Raddies. I follow them on Instagram and just seeing them because, like I said, I've seen a bunch of their stuff. And, I like all their cars. So they are the other group that rode in with the crew that I'm usually with.
Yeah.
But it was a good turnout. I've never seen a car show, like the amount of stuff that they had for everybody to do. I was a little annoyed because I was like, how do you just show up to this? Because I did. I was like, dang, I would have loved to bring the kids to this.
Yeah.
It would have been dope.
Kids would have possibly loved it, but nope.
Anyway, it was a good turnout. It was a dope show. Met a few new people. Y'all know we gonna be cool. And what was really dope, because usually the car scene, unless you go to a specific event, you don't see a lot of black people. A lot of the car enthusiasts are older white men. Most of those Lincolns that rode up in there, they're in that roped off section. We all black dudes.
Oh.
The Raddies, it's only like 2 black dudes with them, but a total of only like 6 or 7 of them were there. The rest of them was us, and yeah.
Fantastic.
So it was dope to see, like, some of the employees came over and like they saw us, said, it was like, these y'all cars? We were like, yeah. He was like, oh, that's dope. We're like, yeah, we be in here. Only time I see that is at the Long Beach show every year. But anyhow, That's got me feeling good.
As it should. Let's talk about this weekend a little bit.
Let's talk about it a little bit.
Homecoming weekend. The way our children's school works, because it is a TK through 12, homecoming is a whole experience for the whole family. First, the Friday, obviously, like most schools, is the homecoming game with the football team. Our football team, while they had a better season this year, is not like, this is not a sports school.
Did they lose that game?
The homecoming game,
okay.
Yes.
So they still, 2-8 or something like that?
2-7.
2-7?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a good ass.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
But yeah, they're not the best.
All of our children had to sing at the beginning. Amar sang, the twins then sang, then Amar and the twins sang together. Mm-hmm. They got off. Little Marcus standing, dead smack in the middle of his choir. They're singing the Oh Beautiful or no. Star Spangled Banner. The Oh Say Can You See. I was like, what is it called? Yeah. They have vendors. We ate food. We had tacos. All this stuff.
Yeah. Typical homecoming.
Prior to the homecoming day, Marcus was asked by his friend who's gone to the HBCU stuff with him to go to this annual party, but it changed into a music festival at Jamie Foxx's house. Jamie Foxx's daughter, Annalise, who is his younger daughter, has a huge party there every year. And last year was either her 18th or a Sweet 16. It's huge. If you don't know our son by now, he is not here for the foolishness.
He's like, I'm good.
He thinks we smoke blunts.
Yeah,
okay?
He does, apparently.
So he was like, no, I really want to see the football team play because I have friends on there.
Did we talk about that last week? Did we talk about that last week? The homecoming and stuff?
Yes, at Morehouse?
Yeah. I had to make sure.
He was like, I want to see my friends play football. And now this other friend is asking him and been trying to be like his good friend.
Yeah.
And
he been trying to get Marcus out the house.
And me and that boy's mom are good friends. So, but Marcus's close friend group, which there's nothing wrong with it, the little weird nerds, that's who that's the only people he'll typically like go out of his way to hang out with. So it was annoying me and my husband. We're like,
right.
This person has been really trying to be.
Yeah, I said you can clearly see that I said, do you notice that he's making an effort to like be your friend? He was like, yeah. He was like, but he mentioned he wanted to support his friends on the football team. I said, oh yeah, that's dope. So we was on board with that. But I was like, hold up. I be at your track meets. I ain't never seen none of them at your track meets.
Nary one.
So Angel was like, oh yeah, that's a good point. So you'll see the first quarter of the game, but then we're leaving and you're going to this party.
Right.
Like executive decision made.
You're going because
you're going to support this trash football team. Oh, this is your phone. Oh yeah, go ahead.
So the thing is, the reason why we were only going to stay for the first quarter is because the later it gets, the harder it is to get to Jamie's house because thousands of people come. It's completely free. It's on his property. It's right beside the house. Like, you know, there are people coming in and out of the house, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you. And it worked out perfectly. Me and the mama ended up parking right beside each other, pretty much, like right near each other at the exact same time. She had gotten there way before me. But the general parking lot was 20 minutes away from the house. And there's a shuttle you have to get on to get to the house. That's where general parking was.
Oh.
Baby, I have VIP parking.
So they didn't have people hiking up the hill?
For the most part. But then there were people who parked on the street.
Uh-huh.
And they did have to walk up the hill like crazy people. Somebody tried to ride down the hill with us. And I said, no. Marcus said, we don't know those people. I said, exactly.
So what's up out of here?
So we get there, we drive. I'm having to try to, because they're like, VIP parking is full. And, you know, they've only let up one person. And I'm continuing to talk. I was like, it doesn't make any sense. I was like, my friend, I could have sworn just went up there. Like, I don't know if she went up there or not. I was like, And I have on the wristband for VIP parking, and then I have on the all access wristband.
Yeah.
Like, well,
you see all these bands I got on right here?
Finally, this dude who I think might have recognized me, he was like, "Oh no, she's special. She can go up." I said, "Thank you."
That was a ploy the whole time.
Thank you.
Somebody gonna see me.
Thank you so much. I get up halfway up the hill. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I said, "Excuse me, ma'am." She's sitting over on the other side of the Sprinter. She walks over. I said, "Am I supposed to keep going up, or am I supposed to park here?" And she was like, "Okay, I know who you are."
This is in the States.
She said, "I know who you are." I said, "Well, who are you?" She's like, "Brianna." I said, "Well, hi, Brianna. How are you?" She said, "Fine." She said, "Keep going up. You're going to see the maze. You're going to go near the second house." And I said, "Okay, great." Drive up, park on a dirt road. Me and little Marcus walk. We park, we walk, we move from the car. We're looking at this other car that where people are getting out. It's the friends. I was like, "Oh, perfect."
Yeah.
So we walk in together.
So it was 3 of them?
3 that she brought. And then Marcus. So 4 together.
Oh, okay. I don't know I don't know.
Yeah, you don't really know the 4th one. And again, this is the one who I was like, I would never know this child was black. Anyways.
Is that the one I seen the picture of?
Yeah.
He look like
yeah, exactly. He look like he from what is that book? The animal book?
I said ain't no way this boy got any black in him.
So we walk down. We're like, we're gonna let y'all do y'all. Okay? We don't want y'all to stay with us. Mm-hmm. All the girls is naked. And Marcus's little friend, he is just excited to try out
the skills that we done coached them on.
When I tell you, they all too nervous.
So dirty.
I tried to clean them. They're all too nervous to approach a girl. Little Marcus was getting his courage to be wingman. And he kept saying, but then they were like, that's what his friend said. Marcus is trying to act like he brave, but he's not brave.
You ain't bad. You ain't nothing.
Me and the mama, we up in the house. Yeah. Okay.
And here's the thing about Coach Marcus is he's where he is. And at that age, I was where I was. I don't need him to be where I was. Just meet me a quarter of the way. And I think you'll be Gucci because I was aggressive.
Oh, but speaking of which, he did ask somebody to homecoming dance.
This finished the night though.
Yeah, I am. But he had already asked her to homecoming dance. That's what I realized.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna do all that in one swoop.
Okay, I'm gonna speed this up because I don't want to be here too long because I need to leave soon. Anyways, they had rotating chefs in the kitchen at the house. So the one chef was in there.
But we need to get to this dance because
I'm trying to finish it up.
Yeah, we don't need to know about the chefs. It's Jamie Foxx's house. Go ahead. I'm just playing with you.
He had oxtails in there, macaroni, cheese, and greens. Earlier, it was all Caribbean food. And I was so mad. Oh, no, was it Caribbean? It was something. I was so mad that I didn't get to go back in that kitchen, but I was already full, so I didn't want to be a gluttonous pig. But the one thing I'll tell y'all that happened to my son at this party, he goes into the mosh pit once. Like, they not mosh pitters like that. And this white girl looks at him and goes, "Are you single?" And he was like, "Yeah." She said, "Would you mind smacking my friend's butt really hard?" And he was like, "No." And he walks over to his friends and tells them, this girl just asked me to slap her friend's butt. And they said, "Did you do it?" He was like, "No." And they were like, "Why?" He said, "Because I am a black man in America and I'm not trying to get set up slapping some white woman's butt." And they were like, "Oh, well, he didn't know she was white." He was like, nah, bruh, nah. I said, "You don't need to be smacking nobody's butt that you don't know."
Black girl, yeah.
If she ain't your girlfriend, don't be slapping her on the booty. I was so proud of him.
Pump your brakes, Angel. But yeah.
Anyways, we left at 11:30. We left before we left as Glorilla was driving in. Like, I waved to her SUV. I was like, "Hey, girl." And then we walked our little black butts back to the car.
She still looks like a little child to me.
Because she is. But it was dope. I mean, the food trucks outside, the open bar inside. We had a good time. But I was ready to go when I was ready to go.
No, I see. I was sitting at homecoming. And we left at halftime. And Kai came over. He's because they over there playing where all the kids are. I said, go find your brothers. We about to go. I could see the distance. He said, we're leaving? Yes, we're leaving. All right, he turned around and get this. So as we walking out, so why are we leaving early? I said, babe, we're not leaving early. We're leaving late.
Yeah.
I said, I would have been gone at the first quarter.
Yeah.
I said, I was giving y'all time. He's like, but why we gotta leave? I'm like, cause y'all playing with y'all's friends. I ain't got nothing to do but sit here and watch this game that's being played awful. So anyway, then I rewind. Marcus wanted to, Angel was talking to him. She was like, do you want to take somebody to? I
said, I was filling out a permission slip. You don't have a guest for homecoming, do you? He was like, no, like usual.
Yeah. I was so like, yeah, we could feel the energy. Why you say it like that? He was like,
sometimes I want to take somebody. He was like, go back and forth. I said, well, who would you take? He says the young girl's name. And I said, okay, then ask her.
So he was like, I was like, do you have her number? Because this is not going to be a text or a DM. You need to call her and talk. She needs to hear your voice. Ask her. I was like, do you have a number? He was like, no. I said, well, text her and ask for a number. So he didn't text her.
I said, DM her, ask for her number and say, I have something to ask you. I need your phone number.
So that's what he did. So a couple minutes, about 5-10 minutes later, we see him at the table eating. So I was like, did you DM her? He was like, yeah. I was like, did she give you your number? He was like, yeah. We like, boy, why would you do that to her? Don't do that. You gonna tell her that you have something to ask her and she give you her number and you not say nothing? Don't do that to her, Marcus. I said, go up there right now. We was like, you nervous? He was like, yeah. I said, dude, all you gotta do, let her know that you wanted to take to the dance as a friend, no pressure. We basically told him what to say. Go get your privacy up in your room and go ask this young lady to the dance. Of course, he wasn't gonna get privacy. I'm at the door.
Can't hear nothing.
I said, So came down. Long story short, she was like, she already had obligations that day, but she'll see what her mom has to say and see what she could do. But it wasn't a no. It was just like, I'm not sure if I can.
So I'm texting the mom on the side. I said, hey, just want to give you heads up. My child's asking your child as a friend to come to the homecoming. She was like, oh my God, I love it. This is so innocent and sweet. I said, yeah, he's super nervous. And she was like, well, baby girl has a previous arrangements with one of her friends having a birthday dinner, but I'll let her make her the decision. I said, it's all good. No pressure. We know it's last minute because he asked her on a Sunday. Homecoming dance is the Saturday coming. And the mama said, oh, low key, she was actually going to invite him to her homecoming, but her school doesn't allow outside people.
Yeah. So
I tell my husband this.
Angel, I'm like, what? She said, oh, I got to tell him. I was like, well, when you tell him, make sure I can see his face. This is me. He's walking up behind me. So we was like, I said, no, come over here and sit down.
I said, okay, I told her mom. And, we'll see.
I'm going to do his reaction.
And I said...
I'm Marcus.
And I said, but you understand, her saying no, that's not a big deal. We know how to deal with rejection. I said, but she did say the young lady actually had wanted to invite you to her homecoming, but they don't allow for outside students. I said, are you shocked?
He was like, yeah, I was like, we are like 75 and 0. Like, trust us. We've been saying this girl ain't going to talk to you as much as she does. She likes you a little bit too. You like her. It goes both ways, Marcus. That's why we always on him like, hey, make sure you check in on her. Make sure you do this, do that. Or whatever. So that he was walking different the rest of the night.
Oh, yeah. So. Oh, yeah. I'm sure the back of his ears were hurting from the muscles pulling his smile so tight.
So then we fast forward. It was Angel had ordered him a suit. And then, because she was asking me about his sizes and everything.
No, he found out the next day, though.
Oh, the next day?
The next day, you can tell she texted.
Oh, I forgot that part. So, she texted me and was like, yeah, she's going to be able to go. So he tells us. I pick her up from school, usual thing. I noticed he walking different again. I'm like, what's going on with him? He gets in the truck with his energy. Hey, Dad, how's it going? I was, how you doing? So he don't have a big smile, but it's like a smirk. But the radiation of energy is like loud. Like I can't even hear myself. It's just so loud. This the energy beaming off him. I said, so you got something you want to tell me? He was like, yeah, she said she's going to the dance.
And he just found out like a minute before you picked him up. Oh, wow.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know if it was later in the day, earlier in the day. So, yeah. So, I'm like, what? So, he's all smiling and laughing. I'm like, you see? So, we just sitting there talking and everything. I said, have you told your mama? He was like, no. I was like, good.
He was so happy to get that information
I
first.
finally know something first. So, anyway, I can't remember everything we talked about then, but we ended up getting home and, he tells Angel.
So I was like, he already knew the color of his suit. And I was like, do you know the color of her dress yet? And he was like, no. And then she tells him and sends him a picture and says it's red. So
no, he asked no. So she said it was red. So so Angel was like, well, your things are clash a little bit, which the burgundy with red accessories would have been dope too. But I was like, no, let me go get him. Like I said, this is a perfect time for me to get him fitted for a suit so he can understand all things I've been telling him. So we end up going to the next day we end up going to Men's Warehouse after I picked him up from school. After got home from school, took him to Men's Warehouse, and I was just like, I know these are more. I said, Marcus, these are more conservative suits. You're not gonna get anything outside of the blue, gray, black, and tan suits in here. I said these are business suits. However, you need to look nice. I said we know she's wearing a red dress. I said so any of these will go well with a red accessories. Any of these suits, the gray, the blue, light blue, dark blue, any of them. It's gonna be dope. I said, which color suit do you want to wear? He was like, I want to wear tan. He's like, I don't want to wear blue because I already wear that or whatever he said. So I want to do tan. All right, bet, let's do it. So then as I'm sitting there looking through these tan suits, I'm like, well, see if she can send us a picture. I said, because you can't match two reds. That's impossible. I said, but you can get something close because I need to figure out if I need to go floral and get different shades of red or if I can do a solid color red on this thing. So he asked for I said, first of all, tell her you excited. And you can tell her this is on me. My dad's really, he wants to get me a suit to make sure I match you. So could you send me a picture of the dress? So end up getting the picture. Of course, his phone dies immediately. So he can't even respond to her yet.
No.
Or whatever. So I get the picture. I'm like, oh, okay. So this is got some sequence and stuff. Mm-hmm. So we start decking it out. And that's when I start going through the tutorial of, how to wear a suit, telling him the length of your suit coat needs to be so long on the hip. It needs to be so long on the sleeve and how your shirt sleeve should come an inch below your jacket sleeve. That should show a little bit. How it shouldn't be too boxy in the shoulders, how it should cut in on your rib cage, take off the label, undo the pockets, the vents, all of that stuff. I'm telling him about the break. I was like, it's not jeans. You need to just have a little bit of break. I said, we're not doing the high water crap and show all your ankles and shin. We're not doing that bullshit, but we are going to, you can go a little short to show the sock, but this is what it is. So as I'm sitting here and I'm pulling out shirts and ties, and look, the people at Men's Warehouse, they trying to help. I'm like, no, I got this. Leave us alone. So first I put them in a 40 regular. And that's a little boxy and it seemed a little short. So I put him in a 40 long. I said, oh, that's way too much. So then I dialed it back to a 38 long. Regular.
Oh, regular.
And I was just like, it's still not doing, I said, this is nice. It's still not doing. So I moved to a 38 long. And that's the one that laid perfect. I said, because we got room to move in the sleeve if we need to. Any suit you get, they got about 2 to 3 inches they can play with on length, whether short or long. So you get something close. Anyway. So put that on. I'm like, all right, we're going to extend these pants. So as we doing all that and I'm trying to find ties or whatever, and I'm like, mash it up. I said, you see how they look? You see how this look? I said, Marcus, can you see how excited I am to do this? He was like, yeah, I can. I said, you don't understand how. I said, first of all, I didn't know I enjoyed doing this much. I might have to do this for people because I thoroughly enjoy just trying to find the suit, but he still wasn't seeing the full vision because it's, while you putting it together, you're just piecing it together. He's putting on the shirt, is like, put it on. Okay, yeah, because it still ain't fitting exactly right. But Men's Warehouse, they do all that. They'll take it in and all that. So fast forward, we, the night of, we go pick up the suit the day before, actually.
Sorry, no. The whole, leading up to the week, he's in mommy and daddy class.
Oh, yeah. The whole
week. I got him
after homework, dance lessons.
I was like, you coming to dance class with me? He was like, I said, as long as you can stay on beat, we'll be able to do this. And he was like, I can stay on beat. I said, yes, but I've also seen you dance. Yeah. And the way you dance is not the way you dance with a young lady. I was like, that's not it. So we trying to teach him is that, well, first I do slow dancing with him. And I was like, just in case you decide to slow dance, I was like, here are 2 places you can put your hands where it's still respectful. And I was like, and then, you know, so we picking out songs. That's the first day. Second day, it's Daddy's 2-step.
I said 2-step is timeless.
We 2-stepping. I was like, all right. Now she turned around. I said, you know, you still got to stay with her. I said, obviously you don't need to grind your crotch up against her, but you also don't stop dancing. And then we were like, and then you can move around with it, you know? 2-step
is, it's an empty canvas. You can do anything with a 2-step. I don't care if it's gospel, trap music, R&B, you can 2-step. I said, if she's dancing, you can walk, you can move around her and keep 2-stepping. Let her do her thing, you do your thing, y'all still dancing together.
Right. I was like, I threw him before a loop the next day. I was like, what if she go low? Where you at? And he got down with. I said, that's right.
Yeah, so you got them good knees.
I said, you go down low too. You go down low. Then we walked them through. I said, okay. We talked about it. I was like, because the kids like to run defense on each other. Yeah. I said, once you see your friends acting too goofy, you like, get her out of there.
He in the row. He's like, yeah, I know.
Get her out of there.
Get her out of there. I said, do you realize? I said, in the core group, your little nerdy group, which y'all probably look like to other. He said, yeah, no, I know exactly. I said, all right, as long as you know.
I said, these are the things you introduce her to everyone. Anybody you talk to, you better say, and this is my friend. Da da da. I was like, anywhere you want to go and you want her to go with you, you take her by her hand and you walk her with you. If you like, you want some punch? Let's go get punch. Take her hand, walk her over there. Yeah. And then me and him came up with a list of like different conversational things or like kind of activities they could do if she was getting bored, because he's worried about that. And I was like, yeah, I said, because you cannot engage in a bunch of conversation with your friends. She don't know these people. Y'all not on level playing field. Right. I was like, so you got to come up with things to do with her. So we came up with 5 things that he felt okay with. I was like, if you got to pull them out your pocket. So day of.
So day of. We worked on just etiquette, like, you know, sitting down talk. I said, what you gonna? Well, it's the day of. So day of. We go get the suit the day before. So the night of, we start getting ready. So I'm starting, you know, coaching him through on how to get ready. I said, what's the first thing you do? He was like, you know, he started getting dressed. I said, no. I said, you already gonna have on your drawers because you done had a shower. You done lotioned up. First thing you put on is your socks. I explain why you put your socks on first. You don't want to be bunching up your pants and all that. And this comes from back in the day when they used to wear them little suspenders for the socks. Mm-hmm. Put your socks on first, then your pants. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I said, you put your socks on. I said, what you put on next? He was like, pants. I was like, no, you put on your undershirt because you don't want to be sweating through this jacket just in case she get cold. You take your jacket off, have to wrap it around her. You don't want no sweat stain on the front and the back of the dress shirt. I said, you put on your undershirt, then your button-up shirt, your dress shirt. I said, you know why you put that on first? He was like, nah. I said, so you ain't got to stuff it down into your pants. You wrinkling it up. I said, you put the dress shirt on, leave the top button unbuttoned because you ain't done yet. Then you put your pants on and it falls. You get ready. So then after that, he puts on his belt, and then he goes and looks in the mirror, and I see him smile. I said, you don't even got all the clothes on. You already look good. He was like, yeah, this looks nice. I said, you already know. Because he did. He looked like an attorney that just took his jacket off in the courtroom. Yeah. Like he looked so dapper just with the pants fitting right and having on the belt and then the tie not on yet. It was just open. I said, yeah, you look good. So then that's when we went through the whole tie thing. I was making sure he knew the right length of the tie. Like the tie should be like touching the top of the belt buckle. Only the top button on the jacket or whatever. So anyway, putting them together, as I was doing this, I said, so we got all these rules. What was rule number 2 before you even start getting ready? What is that? He was like, I don't know. I said, you see how I turn the music on? Music need to be playing. I don't care if it's trap. I don't care if it's R&B. That's why I turned the music on. As soon as you said you was going to start getting ready. You feel this vibe? He was like, yeah. I said, that's how it's supposed to be. But anyway, so as he was getting ready, that's when I gave him one of my lapel pins. I said, which one of these you want to wear? He picked out that one with the gold chain and stuff. So I was just showing him how to wear that and the handkerchief. So after we put it all together, like after he got it all on and everything, and I put it all on, I finally like stepped back and look. I was like, oh my God. And when he went and saw himself in that mirror, he was like, yeah, this looks real nice. He was so happy with the look, and I was so happy. I can't remember last time I've been that happy. Like
you were definitely,
as to see the confidence radiate off of him was so dope. But that's what I also told him. I was just telling him, I was like, you know, taking your jacket off and all. And I said, what you gonna do if she get cold? Because most likely her shoulder's gonna be. He said, I'm gonna give her my jacket. You damn right you're gonna give her that jacket.
So he had won a plushie at the Jamie Foxx party. He was like, I'm gonna give this to her. And then we knew that she does like little henna tattoos for people at her school. So I was like, let's get her this little template for the henna tattoos that she can use. So we get a little gift bag, put it in a gift bag. We get there. Her and her mom are standing in the lobby. Marcus and us walk up, and the mama was like, oh
no, she turned around. She said, oh, and turned around immediately. She said, I'm gonna cry. He's so handsome.
And so Marcus is like, here, and she pulls out. She said, oh, thank you.
She's such a sweetie.
So sweet. She's like, this is so nice. I was like, oh, she could really hate this, and I would not know because she
have no idea
selling this. And then he had this little corsage, which he didn't. I should have showed him before we left how to put. He was like, I don't know how to.
You showed him.
No, but I was like, I said the white flowers go towards her arm. And so when he saw the wristband, he was like, oh, so he put it on her. And then I was like, and so we got to speed this because I got to take him to go take his driver's test. I got to leave here soon. So I was like, I want to get a good picture of you all, but there's no good places, no good lighting in this lobby. Everything looks bleh.
Yeah.
So a mom hears me as we're walking. The dad finally meets up with us, and another mom hears me. She said, oh, no, there's a battery drop in there. She said, I went in there, and it's fine.
Yeah.
I said,
So we walking in there. Angel's in front of the kids. I said, I had to tell Angel 3 times, get your ass back here. Let them kids walk in there first.
I was talking to the
Come
administrator.
on, guys, this way.
Listen, talking to the administrator. Hey, girl, you look good. I was like,
so Angel, get back here. Let them walk
I'm not in their business. I can just, you all watching them walk. Let me find where I'm supposed to take a picture so I can take his picture and get about.
But you walking in loud. You can't just walk in.
I'm only talking because people are talking to me. It ain't
your moment. That's what I told her. This ain't your moment.
It actually, all of his moments are mine. Anyways, I had to move this group of white girls off of that pretty backdrop. I said, excuse me, we're trying to take a picture, please. The baby girl, she giving her little pose, like her little model-esque pose. They look great. Anyways, fast forward, we leave, let them do the dance. I think we're all worried. We all go out to eat.
Oh, yeah.
I'm worried that my son might say something or do something that might like make the girl not have a good time.
Yeah. I'm more so concerned about how good of a time she's going to have with Marcus. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Of course they worry because that's their daughter. Like,
yeah, we think
we go out and get drinks.
We think the party ends at 11, ends at 10. So they call us.
We 10, 15, 10, 20. We still sitting there. I'm on my second drink.
Yeah.
We eating wings.
They're like, are you coming to get us? We're like, oh God, here we come. So they go their separate ways. We were like, did you have a good time? He was like, yeah. And I was like, so you and your friends and her all hung out? He was like, no, just me and her. I said, oh.
Well.
Oh. Okay.
Well.
He was like, we talked a lot. He's like, yeah, it was a good conversation. He had said at the end, me and her did a TikTok dance. That was number 5 on our list of things they could do. I was like, that's right. He was like, there are drafts on her phone, though. I said, okay. Well, then I'm getting text messages from the mama. The mama was like, she's going on and on about how nice your son is. She's like, he is so very nice. She rated her own experience at her own homecoming a 3 out of 10. She rated her time with Marcus an 8.5 out of 10, I do believe. Yeah. And I was like, oh, we'll take it. And then she was like, and he handled everything like a man. Like, he led me everywhere. She said, I never had to ask for anything. He was always checking on me, make sure I had what I needed, getting me stuff. I was like,
you mother. Right.
I said, that's my baby. And said the conversation was because the young lady, what we were told by her mom is that she was worried that the conversation would end up being awkward. Mm-hmm. She said the conversation was never awkward. We had great
Yeah,
conversation.
she told her to say, well, this is awkward.
Yeah, she said, if it gets awkward, just say, this is awkward. She was like, the conversation wasn't awkward. It was like, she said it was like talking to, they both said it was like talking to a really good friend.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. Didn't find out until Sunday when my girlfriend Marquita came over, because I have made Marcus retell this to all of his real aunties and play aunties, and I don't care that he's frustrated about it. Get over it. She was like, did y'all hold hands? He was like, yeah. I said in the picture, and she was like, did y'all hold hands at all that night? He was like, yes. And I said, what you mean? He was like, yeah, like when we walked around, I held her hand. I said, now would you have held her hand if I didn't tell you to hold her hand? He was like, I said, or would you have been too nervous to? He said, oh, I would have been way too nervous too. I said, so you did it because I told you to. And I said, and the girl said, you handled it like a man in your letter. I said, Marcus, me and your daddy's aim is impeccable. Trust us. Trust us.
It truly is.
And I asked him that night, I said, did you feel like you were winging it or that you were well prepared? He said, I felt well prepared. I said, you should know that you can prepare for anything you want in life.
That's one thing I was telling, I think on the way, after I picked him up, found out he could go. It was one of the times during that week, I was like, I said, regardless of how strong and capable a woman is, she still doesn't want to feel like that she has to run the show. I said, your mom would completely run somebody over that was less aggressive than I am.
Yes.
I said, even women that are in charge, these, type A personality women, they still like a man, not necessarily to take control, but feel like he can take the lead. And he can take the lead. I said, it ain't like you got to be in charge or do this or do that. I said, but make her feel comfortable not having to run everything. I said, you can introduce the conversation. You can check in on her, text her, see how she doing. I was like, because we are always going to be the chasers. So you have to make sure that you are checking in.
You ain't. These girls is built different.
Well, yeah, that's different. But somebody that you truly like, I was like, 9 times out of 10, you are going to be the one doing the check, or you are going to be the one showing the interest. Like, check in on her so she feels more open and to being vulnerable to you. I said, because right now you said you want to go out again. You can't just text her when you want to go out again. Check in on her. See how y'all doing. Build some rapport.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
So, yeah, he had a great time. We're so proud. We're so happy. We prepared him. I feel real good about it. I'm glad. Listen, I know most people just let their child go out on a date and they figure it out. I'm not doing that with my baby. I'm going to give him every single tip I know, set him up. And then if he fail after that, that's on him. But at least we helped him. Good job, Daddy.
Good job.
So that deserved. Thank y'all for tuning in. Check out manshit at manshit.com. Check out Shop Mama Likes at shopmamalikes.com. Follow us, Marcus Ain't on the Gram, Marcus Ain't on the Book, Tank Don't Talk, That Chick Angel across every platform. Shopify at shopify.com/argue. We'll see you next Wednesday.
And sounds like most likely Queen Shit will be back next week.
All right.
So
Fantastic.
check out the website. Check that out.
Talk to y'all later.
Y'all have a good one, fam.
Bye.